letters come in, 100 letters a day come in. One mean person writes to me, and I go into the doldrums.
It can't hurt if it doesn't matter.
Even those who you think are hurting you
yes.
have been blessed and used by God in ways that you don't understand. I have a couple of lines. One that my mother gave me when I began to get criticism. She said, they're throwing spitballs at a battleship.
Yeah.
That's the first thing. The second thing is this. It comes from Mark Twain. He said, when I was 20, I was really concerned about what people thought about me. By the time I was 50, I didn't care what people thought about me. And when I was 70, I realized that people didn't think about me.
And they never really have. The truth is there's a few out there, but those few can really be loud.
Oh, and you know what?
At least loud to you.
And I'll tell you this. My wife will tell you this. The letters come in, 100 letters a day come in. And there can be 50 letters telling me how I blessed them, I won them to Christ, you touched my life 3 years ago at a meeting here, or you took time out to talk with me when I was at Harvard, and it changed my life. I can get all these wonderful letters. One mean person writes to me, and I go into the doldrums. And you gotta say, Lord, what's the matter with me that I would allow one little instrument of the devil destroy my day like that?
And sometimes what they have to say might be something to take into consideration. I've rarely ever seen it, but if they could be right. But
my son, when he started out in ministry, and he would get letters like that, he would immediately sit down and spend hours coming up with a good explanation, and they really didn't understand him. And finally I said, Bart, you don't understand these people. They are mean people. Look at the way in which the letter was written.
Yeah.
It's mean. Here's what you write back. Dear Mr. or Mrs. whatever, I always appreciate when people let me know how they feel, even when it's negative, because I learn more from my critics than I do from my friends. I will think seriously about what you said. Sincerely, Bart. And that's the way he's been answering them ever since.
Because they got too much time on their hands.
Yeah.
If you're really busy, first of all, a monument has never been raised to a critic.
Yeah.
And if you're really busy, you ain't got time to sit around and criticize people. And so you realize they got nothing to do. You can say, or they may have plenty to do and they just want to write you a mean letter. Whatever, they don't matter. It can't hurt if it doesn't matter. It's like when someone flips you the bird on the interstate, what you do, you roll up next to them, you roll down the window and say, that would really hurt if you mattered. But the truth is they do matter. Obviously, everyone matters to God and should matter to me. But when they are just saying, you're too fat, or you're this, you're that, and the other, let the children play. Let the children play. They are children. And you just got to let them play.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's that.
Time for another story?
Yes.
Okay.
Love a story.
I was at a meeting in Adelaide, Australia, and the other speaker at this conference was Robert Schuller. And it was right after Jim Baker had that horrible time of being exposed and dragged off to jail. And of course, the giving to all television evangelists was way down. And Schuller's ministry was upset, and he was angry. And he was saying, this man has done no good for the kingdom. This man has hurt the work of the kingdom. This man, he went on and on and on. He said he turned on the television, and they were auctioning off the stuff at the
Heritage USA?
Heritage USA. And they were the doghouse, the air-conditioned doghouse, all this stuff. Mm-hmm. And Ted Koppel was there. And there was this one guy who kept on bidding on this desk. And it was obvious the guy wasn't going to let anybody else buy that desk. Kept going up and up and up. No matter what anybody bid, he went higher. Finally, he bought it. Ted Koppel went over and said, sir, I noticed that you were intent upon getting this desk. Is there some special reason why you wanted this desk? He said, yes. He said, about 8 years ago, my wife and I divorced. We loved each other, but she had gotten involved with somebody and I had gotten involved in somebody. And we had created such a mess of our lives that there was no way we could put it together again. And so we divorced. And I never married and she never married. 2 years ago, I got a call in my dentist office. I'm a dentist. And it was my wife. She said, I'm down here in Heritage, USA. And I'm with a man named Jim Baker. He said some things to me in the last hour that have changed me. I think that if you come down, you can be changed too, and we can put our relationship together. He said, I rushed to the Toronto airport, flew down to Charlotte, got out there as fast as I could. It was about 1 o'clock in the morning. Jim Baker took time, 1 o'clock in the morning, sat down on that side of the desk, and my wife and I on this side of the desk. And he led me to Christ. And then he said, Mr. Koppel, to you, this is just a desk. To me, it's the altar where I found the Lord.
Oh, my.
And I couldn't stand it just going away to somebody who didn't understand its significance. And old Robert Schuller said, I turned off the television set and got down on my knees and asked God to forgive me.
Yes.
Yes. Because God is at work, and even those who you think are hurting you have been blessed and used by God in ways that you don't understand.
Yes.
So be angry.
Like Paul said when he was in prison, he said, I rejoice with those that I'm out of the limelight, they step into it. And
some out of pride, some out of vainglory, nevertheless.
But they're all speaking Christ. If they are speaking Christ and it's for monetary reasons, well, God will judge that one day when the chaff and the wheat are separated, whatever. But man, if Christ is being presented, the gospel, the Bible doesn't return void, it says.
Yeah. God is able to draw straight lines with crooked sticks, can he?
Thank God. Broken pots spill more water.
Yeah, that's right. There you are.
That's what I say.
Thank God for the cracks, because that's where the light shines through, right?
There you go.
See, I can do the same thing you're doing. I could probably go on the circuit with you.
You sure could. Well, see, I have to
I couldn't be as funny as you are.
Oh, you're funnier.
You are
Please.
You are very, very funny.
You're the funniest.
You're the funniest.